Welcome back to another episode of Who Should You Choose, the video series where I go through the prior videos, questions, and comments and help you with your hot lineup decisions. A lot of fantasy questions as we get a little bit later on in the week. Happy Travis Sanheim Day to everyone that celebrates. We'll start first with Trevor. He says, what I do is between my squad battle games, I do housework because there's always something to do, especially laundry. Keep up the great work. The reason why I like this comment is, one, respect the dude that's got to do his housework and his chores and then do his video game chores. But that's why I think squad battles is like super good for a player that can't play a ton, because you can simply pause the game. So if you're ever like, man, I can't get rewards and whatnot, squad battle games, you can just pause, which with rivals, you can't. So that's why I always think there's a bit of an advantage there. I don't even know. BXZ Life. I bought two 600k packs and I got two of the same player. I feel scammed. Wish I could get another fantasy player. Brother. Man, I told you like 50 times, if there is a chance that you're doing a B&D set or pack, do not do it once you have done something that is already in the pool of stuff that can be pulled. I have told you all this a number of times. I get it. You're like, what are the odds? It's 1 in 16. I'm not going to get the same thing. Unfortunately, this is the case. Don't do a B&D pack or set if there is a possibility that you can get the same thing. Do not do it. Hey, Slaves, I've been watching for a couple years now for the content breakdown bits. Since you do the best among the community, keep it up. Thank you, man. Short background for the play, high div 2 player, averaging 16 wins. Basically, the TLDR is Parayko for a guaranteed right-handed Behemoth D to slot in my lineup now, or Ekholm for the future. I got to be honest with you, Ekholm scored last night, and now he's higher rated than Parayko. I got like 20 of these questions, guys, Parayko and Ekholm specifically. This is a wait till Friday situation. You should always be waiting till Friday because, again, as late as you can, at least after the Thursday night games if you can, because someone might score a hat trick, and then Sanheim scoring 2 of those goals the other night made him the best player of week 1, and it wasn't even close now, right? So I would wait. Either one, though. Like, it's legitimately, they're very similar in terms of projections. Ekholm, yes, is on the better team, but Parayko now with no Robert Thomas, like, might be leaned on more. It's all just personal preference. They're almost the exact same player. They just play different sides, I believe. So I would wait till Friday, and then, like I said, my tiebreaker is, what team are you more likely to tune into a game and watch? One of them has Connor McDavid, although he's hurt. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? That's my take on that. Hey, Sleeves, keep up the great work. I love throwing your videos on during my drive to work. I feel like there's so many people that are now watching these videos in the morning, like at work and stuff, which is the correct intention. I love that. Question: you mentioned this in one. This is one of the events to empty your collection for. I've traded all my 80s in for 3 fantasy collectibles. What would you save your 81, 82, and 83 overalls for future events, or trade them into? We won't have any use for the non-collection 80 Supernatural cards after this week. Correct. So I would get your Supernatural done, and then you can trade in all of your Supernatural cards if you want. I would go all the way up to 82s. I would not trade in 83s. I think that's too much value lost, because 83s are still very expensive and very impactful, to be honest with you. They can go in your lineup. So I would go all the way up to your 82s. Like I said, it's not good value. Like, trading in an 82 overall when you could trade in an 80 is not good value, right? But this is the one event, like, you're never going to have another event until Team of the Year that you can get a card that will upgrade for free, that EA has no control over. Team of the Year, they do. The fantasy event, we've already seen this. This might be a hot take. I talked about this on Twitter. I don't know of a year where the fantasy event, like, every fantasy card is scoring every single game. Like, I went through the list the last couple days, and man, every card is scoring except for Ryan Hartman, and Lawson Krause. But that said, with progression being so low, like, 85 overalls are the highest rated cards right now. Like, there's so many cards already in the 80s from the fantasy event. And, it just takes a couple goals, and they're shot up way higher than what progression will be. Progression is so slow this year that the fantasy event means more than it ever has, right? Someone in my chat said Hartman's hurt. I really wasn't aware of that, but even if he wasn't, he was horribly statted, in my opinion. Hey, Slaves, I was wondering when we will get more AP points. Love the vids. Keep it up. I would expect every time there's an overall jump. So The next event, which is like the wacky friendship name, whatever nickname event, I would suspect that because that's November, we'll get an 86 overall master set items. That's usually when they like signify the next event or like an upgrade in content and overalls. So I would probably go, I would expect it then. Or maybe it's just the first of every month. I don't know. Hey, Slaves, I know you've got a lot of comments talking about passing, but one of the main problems I'm having is when my team is set up in the offensive zone and my forward has the puck around the top of the circle, and I try to behind pass to my defender, it always seems to bank off the wall and all the way down to my zone. I've had a bit of problems with passing, but this one just seems to be the most consistent. Dude, EA's biggest rivalry is the 3-foot pass. It's always been an issue. I have now gotten into the habit of once I'm in the offensive zone, I will look and see by holding down right trigger what my two defenders are. Like it's usually X or square on PlayStation. And then I just remember that so I don't have to look afterwards. I'm getting a little bit better with it in terms of like remembering what icon would be for them. I would try icon passing as much as you can in the offensive zone because it does appear that there's more pass assist on button passing. When you don't use button passing, it's like there's no pass assist at all, and you have to correctly aim your passes to like the T, or they just go way out of the zone. Look says, with the release of Black Ops 6, I'm genuinely happy with the rewards. The rewards are skimpy this year. In the past, I'd feel almost guilty inside when I skipped champs, rival, squad battles, and rush. Now I can take half a day on Friday or Saturday, knock out most of the rewards, and play with my friends guilt-free. Crazy how the gaming industry can make you feel guilty with that FOMO. It's brutal. Talked about this ad nauseum. I just downloaded Call of Duty, so I'm excited to play that a couple nights. Probably not on stream. I honestly, one of the things I've learned as a content creator, if you do it full time, is you need to have a game where you can just be a gamer, you know? But if I do stream, it'd be kind of fun to see how many of the people in the community would watch just play an old man play Call of Duty, right, with his boys. So I love this, though. Like I said, man, you shouldn't feel like it's a job. And if it does, then you need to go and find another game. What's interesting to you, right? Hey partner, from the friendly city of Buffalo. Let's go. Bonjour, dude. Love Buffalo. Big fan of your content. Have you noticed the salary cap and wildcard doing funny things? For instance, while drafting my team, I have a salary cap at, let's say, 28 million. Then I'll register my team, then go back into edit lines only to see that I'm now 1 million over the cap. Is there maybe a feature on the draft system I'm missing, or is this possibly just a bug? I should also note that the game allows me to register my team when it's within the cap. However, when attempting to play, I cannot because I'm suddenly somehow over. So I think what's happening is this is a bug that, I don't know, wasn't tested or something, but it's with power-up players. So the XP cards like Drysdale and all of them, as well as the Supernatural cards, those are power-up cards, right? And what I think is happening is that when you draft them, it's showing that they're 80 overall or the lowest, right? And then it's not taking into account if you've upgraded them. But then when you go to register it, it reads the overall, not the card. This is something that I would suspect in their first big patch of the year that they address, but that's a known issue. Just realize that if you throw an MSP, like a power-up card in your lineup, you're more than likely going to get screwed with this, and you can't edit your lineup once you've made it. Hey, Slaves, first time playing Chelsea since 16. I've been really enjoying Hut so far this year. Maybe it's just because when I played back in the day, there wasn't much rewards besides coins and team set packs. Me being a Blackhawks fan, I'd really like to see Duncan Keith and or Brent Seabrook on my team. When is the possibility that they would come out in the team builders in the future? Your videos help me a lot. All the years jumble up to me, but Seabrook had a team builder a couple years ago, or maybe it was last year. So I don't think you're going to get a team builder card for either of them this year, unfortunately. They probably will get a card, though, like event cards. Hey, Slaves, I just wanted to say appreciate all you do. You've helped me get a lot better this year. I know this is a hot take, but I like this year's rewards and progression system better. I feel like most players are free to play, and it makes it so those people can compete with the pay-to-play players since the overall is so close together. I feel like previous years, the cards are so gapped that overall it made certain games pointless. Would like to hear your thoughts. I 100% agree. I think that this is one of the benefits of all of the changes, but it's going to take a while before everyone is like on board with the new norm. But when you think long-term, I 100%, like, I don't know how many years that we've begged for base cards to hold their value, and they have never held their value like they have now since like NHL 14. So I I do enjoy that. I like that progression is very low. The other thing that it does is it allows like a lot of people have been asking for my best at each position video. I did a lot of those throughout the years, and I tried to do one like 3 weeks into or 2 weeks into the game, and I'm writing down who I think would be in there and not including the chase cards, and I just couldn't because there's so many cards that are so close together, right? That like I don't even know how to separate them, right? There's a few outliers, right? But for the most part, like it's been very refreshing in that aspect. Hey Slaves, thanks for the content. Been a fan since NHL 2021, and I've been playing this game since '94. I'm old. I'm a free-to-play player who pre-ordered the game. I currently have 6 out of 8 X Factors for my first X Factor captain. I have 5 out of 12 Vintage Hologram, 3 out of 12 for the Modern Hologram, and I've already made Gartner's Team Builder. And I have 4 Supernatural cards. McKinnon, Yager, Chara, all maxed out. Thompson at 83, and working to get him maxed out. I also have OEL from the fantasy event. I've decided not to chase McDavid, and so I'm planning on getting Kucherov's captain and holding on to that, provided he eventually gets to 99. Just wondering what you would grind for if you were in my position. I'm not going to lie, man. Everyone zigged and you zagged. So you went after team builders, which in my opinion were the worst value. And you're splitting up all 3 of the X factors and icons. I don't think this is wrong. I just think it's going to take you so long to get a card. Kucherov is a fine choice. If you don't want to chase McDavid, Kucherov is a fine choice. In your situation, I would hyper focus on whatever one you want. If you really want Kucherov, I would hyper focus. So 75s all the way up to 78s, I would just trade in the X factors to get your Kucherov, right? And then work backwards from there. And then same thing. Or if you want to go holograms, pick the hologram side and go that way. Tinfoil hat theory, but the Char MSP is bugged or nerfed. First, his number is wrong, and the most annoying thing is trying to do a DDD one-timer with him. The one-timer circle just doesn't show even if he's wide open. At first, I thought it was his offensive awareness being low, but I've used 77s where the one-timer circle shows. Whenever they're open, I want to send the goalie to the hospital. I have heard this a ton. I personally have not used Chara yet. I'm going to use Chara today, and I really got to do like a deep dive on this. I was going to do the Supernatural rankings today, but I'm going to try out Chara first. I don't know if he's going to be bugged. First of all, the number 3, he used the number 3 when he played for the Islanders. I know it is the Bruins card, but that's why. A lot of people I notice in the lower divisions are saying that they don't find Chara useful. And I think it's because you're trying to use Chara like one of the fast defensemen. And I think you're not defending correctly with him, because if you defend correctly with him, there's nowhere to go when you try to enter his side of the boards. But offensively, I'm very curious. I take a lot of DDD one-timers. A lot of my offense is like based on setting up plays to get them open. If you watch my strategies video, I go over a bunch of those. So I'm really curious about Chara. You're not the first one. I've seen a ton. I'd say it's about 50-50 on Chara being great. He's either unbelievable or he's terrible. So I want to try and figure out why it is the way that it is. Hey, Slaves, just looking for your thoughts on what I should do. Since the release, I got a few vintage icons, so I'm about 1/3 of the way to get one of those. But since I'm going for a Flames theme this year, I wanted to get the GOAT Iggy. Should I stop trying for the vintage hologram, just go for the moderns? Just go for the moderns, man. Go get Iggy. Respect. One of the best of all time. Who would you choose between Ekholm, Jones, or Parayko? I feel like Jones is the most likely 99, but I think the others would be so much better at 99. After all of this, I'm probably going to have enough to make a BND 16 collectible one and enough for 600k coin pack. So do you think the pack is worth it? Thanks for the help. Have a great day. Strategy video was incredible for me. It was running Crash the Net, but it wasn't working. Behind the Net has made me better for sure. Love that. Okay. Here is what I would do in your specific situation. If you know that you're going to be able to do the 16 pack and get another 40, like by the end of the week, you know for sure that I would do the B&D pack first and then do the choice one. Because the worst case would be if you made Ekholm, Parayko, or whatever, did the B&D set and then got them, right? Or if you made Jones and then got Jones. That would be devastating. So if you can do the B&D set, I would do that. I would avoid the 600 coin pack. If you do the 16 B&D collectible set, do not do the 600 coin pack because there is a chance you could get that card, okay? Ekholm was already scored, and he plays on the Oilers' first line. That one guy that commented about the Oilers doesn't watch any of their games. He's just a hut player. I mean, none of us are Nostradamus, man. You know, some people, like I said, I think that, first of all, Ekholm's goal was garbage time and, like, not on the power play. I believe Corey Perry was screening in front, so it wasn't like it was. But I do think he can get to 99. I think him and Parayko are great choices. I think that this is why you choose your favorite players from this event. And just, go. There's some safe ones. There are safe ones. Zetterlund, I think, is the safest one. That was before he scored 2 goals. So just something to consider, man. But, we're not all, we can't predict the future. If we could, then we'd all be billionaires making parlays all at the right time. So, I love that. Ekholm is doing well for you, though. He moved in front of Parayko last night, but it's just back and forth, which is why you don't make a fantasy card until Friday. Made Kopitar because I always love his card, and on the fence, on a defenseman, I missed out on Sanheim. So I took Weber, my daily player. Would you recommend Ekholm or stick with Parayko? Thanks for the vids. I would wait to see if one of them scores. Boys, they are literally identical to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep getting this question, like Parayko or Ekholm. Like I said, if one of them scores again, if Ekholm scores again, let's say, that, like, there's the advantage, right? But they're both exactly Thursday night. Wait for the end of the Thursday night games, and then we're good to go, right? Another sneaky thing to do, guys, I haven't looked, but go and look at how many games played in the season they have. Like, if you're trying to find all of the tiebreakers, if one team has played 10 and one team has played 12, right, games already, then go with the one that has 10 if they're very similar because they have 2 extra shots, right? Everyone before today or a couple days ago would have said Parayko after he scored, and now everyone's like Ekholm, right? It's just back and forth, right? I would just wait until Friday. Ace Slaves, thanks for the continually great content. I really enjoy it all. Anyhow, do you know if the Game Breaker event will continue each week? I asked because I somehow ended up with some extra collectibles, and I want to know if I need to spend them now, if I can. The Game Breakers looks like it has replaced Prime Times or Live Moment cards. I think that's it's going to be every week. It should, or it's just random, and then EA, the content team always just random stuff, so I don't know. Okay, last one. Hey, Sleeve, sorry for the novel. I'm a Ducks fan. I can't stand Strome. I also have enough to get another 40 collectibles. What's the best play? Tough out and make Strome just because he's a Duck. Spend my coins to get 40 and make an S tier card. Make the 16 B&D set and spend my coins on getting Chara up. For reference, you make Middlestad week 1 and already spent my free tokens to get Yager up to 84. Thanks in advance. Well, Chara with coins is fine because you've used all yours already. And I think that making MSPs with coins, you're getting half back, right? So it's not a bad idea. The other thing, spend my coins and get 40. Like, what I would recommend is spend 16 and see if you get Strome from the B&D set. And then if you don't... I mean, if you're a Ducks fan and you don't like Strome, then whatever. But, as a Sharks fan, I know you're paying. The Ducks have been really bad. If you're going to watch the games, like having Fabian Zetterlund, even though he scored 2 goals last night, regardless, it just gives me a reason to watch the Sharks. But I'm not for everyone. If you don't really like Strome, then that's fine. If you don't like Strome, I'd probably go for Ekholm or Parayko. That would be my recommendation. That's going to do it for this episode of Who Should You Choose? Again, be sure to come check out the morning streams where we recap every NHL game from the night before. Those go live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch, and then I am live in the afternoon, starting around 1:30 to the latest Eastern Time, all the way up to content time, which is around 5. We say live, check out the content, all of that. Twitch.tv/NoSleeves12. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next episode. Have a good one.